Welcome everyone to Ask the Experts. Today we're going to be talking about security and the root of trust. I'm Tim Messagey and I'm joined by my security expert, Parvez Shaik. Welcome, Parvez.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Tim, and thanks for getting me over here. Happy to be here.
Great, Parvez. Thanks for joining us. Why don't we kick it off with this question? Can you give us an update of the threat environment faced by chip and system makers?
Wow, Tim, that's a very good question considering the business we are in. So, if we are considering the past security threat environment where our customers are doing their own manufacturing, one of the primary things they usually should or have been focusing on is supply chain vulnerabilities. This is not just making sure that their product is getting manufactured properly, but it also involves whether their manufacturing process itself is secure and safe. And not all customers are able to manufacture in their own secure environments. They have to contract it out. So in those scenarios, they have to also ensure what kind of security aspects they're considering. How do they ensure that their intellectual property is actually safe? And then how do they actually make sure that after the project has completed with their contractors, whether their IP is going to remain safe, or if they are not being duplicated, or if they don't end up in their competition's hands and things like that. So that's the main aspect of any manufacturing customer. Then there is a cybersecurity threat analysis that they need to do. These are primarily originating from the recent times where everything is going online. We have now situations where people are our customers. They don't even see their manufacturers. They just trust everything over online, their cybersecurity of their own implementation, and then that of the manufacturing units. We talked about intellectual properties. We have evolving security ecosystem where security is becoming very primary or integral part of everything. If we just compare it with past 10 years, people were more happy to get everything done cheaper and faster. But as soon as they realize that they are being cloned, they are being lots of copies coming in. Now they are more focused on how do you make sure that security is also primarily protected, especially when it comes to their own IPs. And then there are regulations now. There are lots of regulation when it comes to manufacturing. There are lots of regulations now where countries or specific regions are now more involved in trying to make sure that they are not dependent on specific regions for manufacturing and things like that. So that kind of regulatory environment brings in lots of attack vectors for lower manufacturing zones to actually attract them either by reducing the security or reducing or kind of creating some kind of compromises to lower the cost and manufacturing things faster and cheaper so that all these new regulations that governments are insisting on the local vendors that they have to manufacture locally do not sound more profitable to them. For example, one of the regulatory rules that came in recently was during Biden's administration, where there was this Chips and Science Act of 2022, where the government insisted that there should be a defined domestic chip production subsidiary or government subsidiaries internally within the government. So this kind of also brought in a huge investment like 52 billion, which kind of gives a lot of incentives for manufacturers locally to do all the production internally. So that kind of directly contradicts or challenges the outsourced or cheaper manufacturing locations. So these are the some of the environments where our customers are currently challenging us to fix this, and we are proud to say we are there and helping our customers in all the way.
Thank you, Parvez. Okay, so given the regulatory environment you talked about, given the threat environment you talked about, and you mentioned trust, what is root of trust and what role does it play in solving the security for chip and system makers in the environment you just described?
Right. So basically, hardware root of trust is the foundation or the foundational concept of any semiconductor or device. Right?
Okay.
Basically, if we talk about trust in a system, basically when you are doing some kind of cryptographic operations or when you say you are doing some security, your device is secured, you need to have something that all of your trust and security is based on. And hardware root of trust is one of such a thing. It is what it means literally inverse, root of trust. It is basically everything that your complete device security is based on. It takes care of all the underlying things that you customers usually don't see, like giving you a trusted boot, a secure boot, or cryptographic operations, giving you a very secure location where you can put in your safe security items or keys or cards or whatever. And then there are concept of attestations. So in shortly put, this is like your primary security guard.
Right.
When you build your house, you have to have your foundation very, very strong. It doesn't matter if you have a low, weak foundation and you put in the world-class security system like the strongest door or the strongest locking system. It doesn't really matter if the foundation is weak. Anybody can just break it.
Exactly.
That's what
So,
the world root of trust is.
okay, so I was going to say historically, root of trust could be implemented in software or hardware. You mentioned hardware. What are the advantages of doing it in hardware?
All right, so that's really good. I think we definitely need to talk about both hardware and software root of trust. And I think we need to take into account the pros and cons of both of those, right? One of the basic security principles when any security architect starts their design is that you cannot secure everything. You need to choose what you want to secure. So this is the concept where you define what is your threat model, to what level you want to secure your device. Now, if we compare between hardware and software, if we take a hardware root of trust, basically one of the primary reasons customers use a hardware root of trust is that they want to have the topmost secure device, right? Security is the topmost concern for these customers. And having it in a hardware root of, having a root of trust in hardware, it basically means that it is embedded into your chip. In the engineering terms, we call it the RTL. So RTL is something that you just cannot edit, right? Once it is manufactured, that's there. It's there in the life of that device, and you just cannot edit it. So putting your root of trust in such an environment ensures that whatever you do during the provisioning or the production of the device, for example, you put a very secret root key, which is a basis of creation of rest of the keys into your system that allows all other secure operations to work. So imagine that is in your hardware and nobody can hack it, nobody can copy it, nobody can delete it or tamper it in any sense. So that's one of the primary use cases in the security, from the security aspect of doing it in hardware. Now we also talk about the actual reliability of itself, of the key itself. Now we took an example of the key, right? Now we spoke about tampering that key. When you do security or root of trust in the hardware, a root of trust can provide or will provide lots of other complex solutions like anti-tampering, or you can put in something like an unclonable function. You can put those keys in obliteratable OTPs or any secure memories where any sort of tamper is detected, then all the secure keys are obliterated, or it doesn't give any access to the hacker. So this is one of the security means that a root of trust can provide. And the third aspect is the performance itself. So like we discussed, a hardware root of trust is not just something that provides security, but also provides you a lot of cryptographic functionalities. Like the keys itself, the means to create your keys and roots, these are all done using various cryptographic algorithms, be it classic or the post-quantum that we are seeing recently. So all of these combined together will be a root of trust. And when they are in hardware, the acceleration or the time it takes to complete a cryptographic operation is quite fast. Now, these are the pros, these are the advantages of doing in the hardware side, but there are also cons. Con mainly coming from the cost perspective, right? Not all customers are able to invest, uh, be it the dollar amount that it takes to procure an IP or the actual die area size that it would require for them to reserve for a security system. Then there are also the flexibilities we discussed, right? Once you put in the hardware, it cannot be changed. So while it is an advantage for some customers, it also becomes an issue for other customers because they want to advance, they want to use a single IP for multiple generations of their use cases. So those are the some limitations that hardware system has. And of course, the reusability aspect as well kind of becomes very limited. But again, with a very good design and with a very good root of trust hardware system, which is forward thinking, which we'll discuss what we're going to offer, but those kind of issues can also be solved. We have such solutions.
Okay, well, speaking of hardware root of trust, Parvez, your team has just introduced a new third generation CryptoManager root of trust. Can you talk about some of the new features?
Sure. Well, CMRT or the Crypto Manager Root of Trust is one of our flagship products in the security portfolio we have. And this has gone through, or this particular product has gone through various or three different generations of products. And the primary advantage we are bringing with this, or the three-tier, the third generation, or the three-tier architecture, as we call it, is to create a very clear distinction between the products so that customers who are working on a high level root of trust, who are also concerned about this securities, they are also concerned about different segments, right? For example, a AI customer would also want to create a similar chip that would go into automotive sector as well.
Oh, right.
For doing AI, there are certain OCP specific compliances they need to follow. But if they want to go into the automotive, then they have to go through the ASIL or ISO 26262 processes. If the same guy wants to go into defense, then there are another regulations they need to follow.
Right,
So
right.
in integration, what this does is we have gone through extensive study of all the security specific requirements in different industries over the past 6 years of this generation. And we finally came up with a unique solution or one-time solution, which is kind of capable of handling all these requirements. And we can go in detail as we discuss further how we are doing this. But basically, we are creating a very modular solution, which not only fixes all this regulation and security specific requirements, but we are planning on creating, or we have already worked on creating a solution that works for all the markets.
Okay, a couple of threes there. This is third generation, and there's also a three-tier architecture that's involved with the CryptoManager root of trust. What's the benefit of the three-tier architecture?
Yeah, lots of threes here, right? So the third generation of a root of trust, a three-tier architecture. So basically, with the introduction of three-tier architecture, are finally able to realize Rambus simple and the only design principle that's deliver faster. And that's what we are basically doing with this architecture. In essence, the three-tier architecture defines how our products are structured. At its core, like any root of trust, we would have to build something with crypto accelerators. Now, in the past, with the crypto accelerators, because of how the standards have been defined, how the RFQs have changed, it was never possible to unify a single method of accessing the crypto cores. Now, we finally have that. And what we did was we introduced a new product called CryptoManager Core. In in the supply chain of this complete root of trust, so the three-tier architecture that we have, this is the bottommost layer where these are really the actual hardware crypto cores or accelerated cores, which is basically a combination of all our classic and post-quantum crypto cores that we currently have. That is behind a single bus, and then that bus can be accessed through memory interface or the register interface, so that customers get complete access to these cores so that they can build their own drivers, they can have their own APIs. Of course, we also provide a standard definition of how cores can be accessed at the hardware level. At this point, we do not have any software layer. So this is mainly for customers who would want to have pure hardware implementation. They have their own software and then just insert the crypto accelerators there. So basically, think about a customer who has already done a world-class implementation of root of trust or a security implementation of a simple secure boot functionality. And now he's looking for additional features, right? For example, additional features like for a crypto core, a standard core has a basic implementation of crypto algorithms in hardware, but what Rambus provides adds additional layer of security, like providing a DPA level of protection, providing FI protection. So these are the different configurations that customers can request within the modularity that we provide. So it's not like we have one package, take it all. Customers can pick and choose, okay, I want this particular core or this particular accelerator with this mode and this bit size of keys generation and things like that. So this kind of modularity has never existed in the market before. So we want to enable our customers with this product that they can actually pick and choose what they want just for their particular product and then make a most optimized and most fast product for their design constrained environments. Now, this is the bottom layer. The top layer, what we call as a crypto hub or a crypto manager hub, is basically a combination of crypto core with a small RISC-V based scheduler. What this does is it adds a small layer of software where customers can take the advantage of this particular core to add many security functionalities or high-level functionalities like multitasking or multi-core operation, and then preemption, something that customers enjoy a lot with AES operations and other symmetric cryptos. So what this basically, we have also introduced a concept of virtual memory queues, which allows customers to create a different level of queues within the system so that a customer doesn't have to wait for one operation to complete. They can just trigger as many operations as possible, and the Crypto Manager Hub is able to queue them, sequence them according to the priority the customer has given, and then respond back at the same time. So this basically, again, is a crypto accelerator, but then comes with a very rich software stack so that customers can enjoy a lot of pre-implemented software, pre-implemented features specific to crypto acceleration and operations. Now we take this Crypto Hub as a whole product, and then we insert into the CMRT, the Crypto Manager Root of Trust, that we currently have in second generation. But in the third generation, we take advantage of this Crypto Hub and then create all the existing security implementation we have, all the features that we provide in generation 2, plus a lot more that we have introduced with CMRT. We'll have our own homegrown physically unclonable functions. We have also introduced something called external connect, that customers can connect their external hardware to bring their own hardware into CMRT's security boundary. Then we have also introduced for highly safe and secure products the external sensors, environmental sensors that provide the necessary security level for all the different certifications customers are aiming for. And with this architecture, we are also aiming during the coming months to make sure that while we say that we are compatible or we are compliant with all these different standards and processes, we actually lead by example compared to our competition. What we do is we actually take a version of this implementation and then actually go ahead and get it certified. And we have proven this multiple times. All our crypto cores are CAVP certified. We have a module as well through CMRT, which is CMVP certified for both FIPS 140-2 and 3. We also have a version of CMRT that is ACID B certified. We have a version that is CESIP level 2 certified, and then so on. So name industry standard when we have done it, and we intend to do the same. And the advantage of doing this is that our customers actually get a product that is pre-certified, which kind of reduces their time to development, time to integration, and also time to market.
Great, Parvez, thank you. So lots of customer flexibility, time to market, and certifications for whatever their market need is. That's great. And folks, if you would like to learn more about the Crypto Manager Root of Trust, the three-tier architecture, and all the features, advantages, and benefits, that's coming up. Parvez is going to do a webinar on April 16th. It'll also be available on demand. So please join us for that. So now, thank you, Parvez. Thank you for your time this morning. And everyone, thank you for joining us on Ask the Experts. We'll see you again back here real soon.
Same. Thanks, everyone.